Alright you lot, Chapel John here, and today we are looking at Transformers Legacy Deluxe Class Skids. Now here he is in his van mode. As you can see, it looks rather nice. Now I call it a van, but I believe it's a specific type of car that only exists in Japan. So yeah, here he is. It looks nice. You've got the blue, the red, the silver, a bit of black for the tyres, front section and the sunroof. Looks really nice. The accessories are this little axe/gun thing at the top. I put it at the top anyway, and this double barrel thing on the side, and this missile thing. Another things he comes with are the instruction sheets and this little thing here. Yeah. Now the accessories can combine together. What you do is take this missile thing, the gun thing / axe, and you combine that together. This, the double barrel guns, you take that, flip them round so that the handle's facing the top, there's a slot here, peg here, you can combine it together like this, and peg it at the top of the roof if you so want to. Many ways you can do things if you want to do that. One thing you can do like a model car is open the doors, which is the start of this transformation, but you can do that, which is pretty nice. Transformation, other than opening the doors, which you have just done, is taking the back, folding that out, which are his legs. Fold these sections up, which will be his shins, and take the tyres, fold them to the bottom of his heels, or his feet, but still. Then you take the arms, kind of bring them out here, and bring them out by the tyres, which are kind of the bonnet, untap the roof, which sometimes that can be easy. Then take the waist. You've got to make sure that the waist clears the clear peg, which isn't always easy. Bring that out, straighten the legs out, split them apart, and there you go, that's the legs all done. Take the windscreen, untap that from the bonnet, essentially. Then take the bonnet with his doors, kind of fold that down and into place. Make sure that the black thing is flush. Take his arms, bring them out, line them up with the bonnet, take them, turn them so that the tyres are facing the back, and then take his forearms, turn them so that his elbows are facing forwards, not backwards like I just did, and then bring them down at the hinge of the tyre, not the hinge of the bonnet. Take the windscreen, line it up with the back, and there you go. That is his robot mode. Of course, his accessories can fit in his hands. A multitude of ways. A lot of ways. One of the ways you can do this is by attaching the double barrel thing to the forearm, and attaching the missile thing to his hand, and gun/axe thing to his hand. There are a multitude of ways you can do things if you so want to. But right now we're going to talk about articulation, and I need to remove them so that it can be unhindered. His head turns 360. I believe it's on a ball joint because you kind of get a bit of a tilt out of it. Kind of, not much. Shoulders can theoretically turn 360 if it weren't for the doors. Can go really far outwards with the tyre hinge thing here. Though there's two. You don't really want to move here. That's just the transformation joint. Biceps turn 360. Elbows bend a bit past 90 degrees. And his hands turn 360, although his hands are a bit tight compared to the forearms. His waist can theoretically turn 360 if it weren't for the roof being in the way. His hips go really far forwards, pretty decent far back, though you can move this if it's not enough. And outwards, he can't do the full splits, but he can go pretty far. Thigh swivel 360, and he bends at the knee pretty much 90 degrees, although that comes into play during transformation, but it plays into transformation the reverse, so not really, but kind of. And his ankles, a really decent tilt out of them. So yeah, that's that. Transformation back is pretty nice. Tap his legs together, fold the tyres out, and fold his shins down. Take the arms, bring them up like that. Take his shoulders, turn them so that the tyres are facing the top, and take his arms, turn them so that his elbows are now facing forwards, because this will be the bottom of the car. Take the windscreen, just kind of get that out the way. Take the bonnet, bring that up, and you want to make sure that it's kind of flush with the head. Kind of want to do that. Now you want to take the windscreen. Now the windscreen will tab into the roof. So yeah. Okay. Which can be a little bit easier said than done sometimes, but hey, I got it. Then you want to take the legs, bring them kind of pretty decent most of the way forward. Now I said most of the way, you probably don't want to bring them all the way forwards. Then take the waist, make sure that it clears the clear peg, and now tab the roof to the feet. Well, not feet, but to the back of the legs. Then take the arms, bring them in, and you want to make sure that these line up with the bonnet. If you don't do that, things are not going to line up so nicely at all. Take the arms, bring them down, and the best way to think about it, there's a tab here in a slot within the arm, but the best way to think about this, you want to bring the doors in just a little bit, just to make things a bit easier. The best way to think about it is, you see the cutout, make sure that it meets. That's the best way to think about it, especially since you can't really see the tab and slot. Make sure that it's like a puzzle piece, make sure that those line up. Take the legs, bend them forwards, like I said earlier during articulation. Bring them in, essentially. You want to make sure that everything is kind of squished a bit together. Close the doors, which will be the final part of this recipe, if you shall say. Make sure that things are decently lined up. And for me, I'll take the accessories and put them back on the way I had them before. You don't have to do that. In fact, you can display without them. Of course you can. What am I saying? And that is it. That is Transformers Legacy Deluxe Class Skids back in his van mode. What did I think of this figure? He's a really nice figure. Any faults with him? Well, the roof don't quite line up on mine, but I believe that the mileage may vary, although this is the most common thing to happen. One part lines up but the other don't. Very common, very minor, not a huge deal. Another thing is, his transformation can be a little bit fiddly sometimes, mainly in that trying to get his waist past the clear peg at the back, but otherwise he's a really nice figure. Anyway, that was that. Hope you liked this video and have a great time, and as always, see you later.